Taylor Swift, one of the most dominant forces in contemporary music, found herself conspicuously absent from the list of nominees for the 2026 Grammy Awards. Fans around the world, accustomed to seeing her name prominently featured in major categories year after year, were quick to express surprise and even disappointment when the nominations were unveiled. However, this absence wasn't the result of any oversight, backlash, or deliberate exclusion by the Recording Academy. Instead, it boiled down to a straightforward application of the Grammy's strict eligibility rules, a timing issue that placed her most recent work just outside the qualifying window. The Grammy Awards operate on a clearly defined eligibility period for each ceremony. For the 2026 Grammys, which honored music released between August 31, 2024, and August 30, 2025, any project hoping to compete needed to fall squarely within those dates. This window is designed to ensure fairness, allowing the Academy's voting members to evaluate a consistent pool of releases over a 12-month span. Music dropped before or after this timeframe simply doesn't qualify, no matter how critically acclaimed or commercially successful it might be. It's a rule that has affected many artists in the past, from established superstars to rising talents, and it's applied uniformly without favoritism. In Swift's case, her 12th studio album, titled The Life of a Showgirl, arrived on October 3, 2025. That release date came more than a month after the eligibility cutoff had passed. The album represented a bold new chapter in her discography, blending theatrical elements, introspective songwriting, and high-energy pop production that drew inspiration from classic showbiz glamour and personal evolution. Tracks explored themes of performance, identity, resilience, and the highs and lows of life in the spotlight, with intricate storytelling that fans have come to expect from her. Yet, because it landed outside the prescribed period, none of its songs, production, or overall body of work could be considered for categories like Album of the Year, Best Pop Vocal Album, Song of the Year, or Record of the Year. Adding to the ineligibility, Swift didn't release any precursor material during the qualifying window. She announced the album in mid-August 2025, but held off on dropping lead singles, music videos, or any standalone tracks beforehand. This strategic choice, perhaps to build maximum anticipation or to present the project as a cohesive whole, meant there was no qualifying music from her in the entire eligibility timeframe. Her previous album, The Tortured Poets Department, had been released back in April 2024, which fell into an earlier Grammy cycle, specifically contributing to nominations in prior years. Between that release and The Life of a Showgirl, Swift focused on other endeavors, including her record-breaking Eras tour extensions, personal milestones, and collaborative projects, but nothing new hit the market in time for 2026 consideration. This situation isn't unprecedented in Swift's career or in the broader music industry. The Grammys calendar has occasionally sidelined major releases due to timing quirks. For instance, artists who drop albums in September or later often find themselves waiting an extra year for awards contention. Beyoncé's Cowboy Carter, another massive cultural moment, similarly missed the 2026 cut for parallel reasons in some reports, highlighting how even the biggest names aren't immune to these procedural boundaries. The rule encourages strategic release planning, where artists and their teams coordinate drops to align with eligibility windows if awards are a priority. Fan reactions to the news were mixed but largely understanding once the explanation circulated. Swifties, her devoted global fanbase, initially flooded social media with questions and memes about a perceived snub, a term often used when favorites are overlooked. However, as details about the eligibility dates spread, through official statements, music journalism, and fan analyses, the conversation shifted toward excitement for the future. Many pointed out that The Life of a Showgirl would be fully eligible for the 2027 Grammys, setting the stage for what could be another dominant year. Given Swift's track record, she already holds 14 Grammy wins, including multiple Album of the Year victories, making her one of the most awarded artists in history. Few doubted her ability to rack up nominations and potential wins next time around. The 2026 nominations themselves painted a competitive picture elsewhere. Kendrick Lamar led with 9 nods for his album GNX, earning spots in prestigious fields like Record of the Year and Album of the Year. Other names like Sabrina Carpenter, Doekiai Jelly Roll, and SZA featured prominently, reflecting a diverse slate of pop, hip-hop, and emerging talent. The absence of certain megastars due to timing added an element of unpredictability, keeping the focus on those who did qualify. It also sparked discussions about the Grammy structure. Is the fixed window still relevant in an era of streaming and year-round releases? Some critics argue for rolling eligibility or adjustments, but the Academy has maintained the system to preserve a sense of annual snapshot.